Hey, what's up guys? Today in this video we are going to see how to make screens for your desktop application. That is how to design the screens for your Angular 2 and Electron desktop application. So a lot of people who saw my previous video on how to make those applications started asking me like when are you going to show us more stuff on that, and so this is my response to all those people. So in this video we'll be just making like a Reddit client or something like that, or a small app based on Reddit, and we'll also but the main focus of this tutorial will be on how to design screens for your Electron app. So let's get started. First of all, I have just cloned the previous Angular 2 desktop RC version, RC repo, which I'll just show you guys. This one, Angular 2 desktop RC, right? I have just cloned it, and then what I have done is made some small changes. That is, I have updated this version to 1.3.1 and this RC version to RC4, and then router I am using 3.0 beta 2 version. Okay, and then I have run the npm install as usual so that these dependencies are all updated in our application. And then what we'll do now is we are going to make use of the Materialized CSS framework for our designing purpose. So you guys might already be familiar with this framework because it's a famous framework, guys, to be honest, and it has over 20,000 stars on GitHub, and it's quite popular in the developer community, particularly if you are into UX and UI. So or you can use any other framework for your front-end design, but in this video I'm going to use that. And to make it easy for us to use, some guy had written, this Ruby boy, this good person, has written a wonderful npm library called Angular 2 Materialize. This makes it quite easy for us to use the Materialized CSS framework in our Angular 2 applications. So let's make use of this. Let's see how to make use of this in our app. We'll just follow the documentation as it is. First we'll install Materialized CSS. And then we'll install this Angular 2 Materialized save. And then jQuery as usual, since this is a dependency for Materialized CSS. And then this hammer.js, sorry. Okay, all these are done. Now add material design fonts. Okay, we'll add this to our index.html. These are usual stuff we do, right? Just a reference to the style sheet so that we can use their fonts and icons in our application. And then what else do they tell us to do? We'll just add okay, we need to do some configuration in the webpack side, right? So what are those? We'll start from the plugins. Okay, we just need to add copy this, go to webpack, and then give a comma here and add this. Okay, and typings also, I've added the GitHub Electron thing, guys. If you hadn't added, just add this, and then I'll just be uploading this repo anyway, right? You can just have a look at it if you go to my blog. The blog's URL will be in the description of this video. Okay, so yeah, webpack, we have added the plugins, and then what else we need to do? We need to add a loaders. So we'll just copy this, go back here, and then okay, and then what else? We need to add this alias, copy this once again, go back here, give a comma here, and then add this. Okay, this is done. Now what else they require us? This imports loader is required, right? So we'll just give npm install imports loader save. Okay, this is done. Now okay, CSS, we need a CSS loader to process. That's what they're saying. Okay, basically what loaders means is that we need to say webpack to they are like extensions, guys. We need to say webpack to process certain files in certain way, right? So these loaders enable us to enable Webpack to do so. So we are installing those loaders so that they could be used along with Webpack. That's the simplest explanation. So we'll just add that also here. What are all the things needed? Style loader and CSS loader, right? We'll just npm install style loader, CSS loader, save. And then what else is needed? Okay, except materialized CSS files, everything else should be processed using the raw loader. Every other CSS file should be processed using the raw loader. That's what this condition specifies. And then okay, this is for the font and what else, the icons. Okay, this requires URL loader. Obviously it will require file loader as well, I guess. So we'll just go ahead and install that as soon as this finishes installing. Okay, this is done. So now I'll just npm install URL loader, file loader, save. Let this get installed. We'll just go here and app.ts index. Okay, we'll just clean this up and make it in a little more presentable format. We'll just have app.component.html, and then we'll have another app.component.ts, and then this will be, we'll rename this to main.ts. Main.ts will only have the bootstrap and all these will come there. Okay, we'll take all these and then paste it here in app.component.ts. This template won't be this template, this will be a app.component.html, and this template will become a template URL. Okay, then this main.ts will simply import app component from /app.component.ts. not ts is not required, right? Okay, this is done. So obviously we need to change it in the webpack as well. So we'll go here and then instead of app this will be main. Okay, everything is done here, and inside app.component.html we are ready to use Materialize, I guess. Once this installs, this is installed. So what else we need to do now? That's it, guys. So we'll just try one of their examples. We need to import this directive. Okay, we'll just copy this, paste it in our app.component.ts, save this, and then what else we need to add a directive. I'll copy this, paste it here, and then we'll use this maybe. Remove the placeholder. Okay, let's see whether this goes fine. So npm run build. And then npm start. Let's see what we get. Wow, we get a cool user, we get a cool text field, right? You can see this, right? This is basically the effect of Materialized CSS. Wait, I'll just forms. See, you have this, right? This cool effect. So we are able to kind of use Materialized CSS in our desktop application, right? So we can obviously use anything from here inside here to design the screens for our application, guys. So this is how you use a different framework like Materialized CSS has this Angular 2 Materialized library, which makes it really simple. That's why I wanted to show you guys this today. Rather than just ending it abruptly, why don't we finish off that Reddit thing which I told you about? We'll just go right into it and try to finish it off quickly. So we'll add a button maybe, so that you can have a go button or something like that. This button will add it. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. This is a form, right? Paste it here, and instead of this button I'll just give go, and instead of anchor tag I'll just give button. Okay, now if we just, now it will obviously work. We need not build and try running it for each and every time we make a small change or something. So instead of first name I'll just give subreddit here. You obviously know what's a subreddit, because let's face it, you already know what's a subreddit. Subreddit is nothing but a page within Reddit where you can post specific topics, topics pertaining to that specific page. For example, Angular 2 is a subreddit of Reddit. So this page will obviously have all the posts that are related to or links that are related to Angular 2. It's like that. It's a simple concept, right? Okay, so we are getting the subreddit in the text field, and then we have a go button. That's all this simple UI here denotes. Let's come back here and then give subreddit, need to get the data, right? So I'm just giving and then here I'll use ng model, ng2 ng model, here is subreddit. Okay, this is bound now. And then what else we need to do here? We'll just we need to make a HTTP call, right? So import HTTP from @angular/HTTP. Simple. And then here we'll go to main.ts, and now itself we'll just import from @angular/HTTP. If you finish the second part first, the IntelliSense will click in and it will automatically provide a suggestion, guys. That's why HTTP providers. And then HTTP providers. Okay, we did this HTTP. We can just make a call now. Constructor private HTTP, and then make call. This will have this .http.get. Luckily, what is the advantage of this is, if you just give Angular 2, it's just returning a page, right? HTML page. If you just give just give .json at the end of the URL, you'll get the actual JSON dump of this page, guys. So we'll just take that so that we can condense the data, take what we need, and then present it in a more user-friendly format in our screen. That's what we are planning to do here. So we'll just paste that URL. Actually, Angular 2 shouldn't come here. What we need is our thing, right? This .subreddit, and then here we'll give /json. Sorry, not /j.json, right? .json. .map, whatever response comes, I'm just mapping it to response.json, and then I'll bring the map down. So a lot of guys were saying that the screen wasn't big enough to be seen in a mobile or tablet, and I'm really sorry about that, guys. I'll just change it now into 22. Okay, hope this is big enough, guys. Okay, so map is, okay, the map I didn't import, right? Import what was that? rxjs/add, I guess, add operator map. Okay, map is now imported and the error vanishes. Map.subscribe data console.log data. First we'll see how the data comes, and based on that we'll just we'll just go ahead rather than me talking a lot. I'll just build this. I could use obviously gulp to and write a watch task to streamline this, but since this is just a demo, you can use it, guys. I'll even make a video on how to use gulp and webpack to like streamline the build of your Angular 2 application later on. So npm start. I'm promising a lot of video, guys, but I don't have enough time to deliver all those. Okay, first we'll trigger the console, toggle developer console. Okay, now I'll just give Angular 2 subreddit, right? I'm clicking on go, nothing happens. Why does nothing? That's because in HTML here we didn't give, right? This button should obviously call the make call. Okay, now I'll just I'll just toggle developer tools, give Angular 2. Now let's see what happens. Okay, we get a response, right? We get an object, and inside that there is a data, and inside that there is a children that has 26 elements. That's an array containing 26 elements, and all those are posts, right? So what we'll simplify this again using another map. This will be a JSON format, right? JSON dot data, right? I forgot. Yeah, data dot children. And inside this children, what is there? Inside this children, another data is there, and then that data contains a lot of stuff, right? So what we'll be needing is let's go back to this and see how we need the title, obviously, and then there's a small image like thing here that sometimes contains an image and sometimes doesn't contain any image. And then the link to traverse to this, obviously we need all these three, right? These three are more than enough, and for we'll just get an ID along with it. Okay, so we need all those data, and we have up to children now, right? We'll write another map, and then this will have child dot map. Okay, child dot map. This will obviously have an entry. We'll name it as E, and then what we need to do here is we need to get those 4 things alone, right? What are those? The ID and link and the URL thing and image and title, right? So first of all, let's just, sometimes there is image and sometimes there is no image. That also we need to take into account, and whether do we have all those IDs there. Okay, image will be under preview, I think, preview or something. Title is there, URL is there, so obviously that doesn't contain a preview. So let's take another one and see whether it contains. We'll close this. Sorry. Yeah, this contains a preview, guys. So this contains a preview. Images is there, and inside that images there is a source, and then there is a URL. Okay, we'll just get the fields which we need, guys. So what are all those? First we'll have a temp. This will, what we'll do is it will have a placeholder for the no image criteria. So what shall we, there is something called placeholder.it. Yeah, this is the one. So we can use anything like this, right? We'll just copy the link address and then paste it here. 350 cross 150. We'll just use 70 cross 70. Okay, very simple, guys. And then what else we need to do? We need to simply okay, this is to be used when there is no preview, right? So obviously we should write it like if e.data dot data dot preview not equal to undefined. In this case we need to change the temp to the URL, right? So temp will be e dot data dot preview dot images is an array, or preview images is an array, images of 0 dot source dot URL, right? Images of 0 dot source dot URL. Okay, now we have the image URL there, and then what else we need to get? If the image is undefined, then the temp will have the this URL ID, and if there is an actual image, the temp will have the URL of the actual image. So we'll just return ID will be like e dot data dot ID, and title will be like e dot data dot title, and URL will be like e dot data dot URL, and image will be like temp. Okay, so now we have condensed that enormous JSON data into these 4 things which we need, and then subscribe will be the same subscribe as what we'll do is we'll get an array and then put all of these so that we can use it for ng-for, right, to iterate. So entries, we'll use an array, simple array, and then here inside subscribe we'll simply this dot entries equal to data. Okay, simple thing. Now we'll just run it once and check whether this goes fine. If this goes fine, then we can go ahead with designing our UI, since we have all the data which we need to populate in our screen. Okay, we'll trigger the console first, and then here Angular 2. Just click on go. Okay, we are getting objects. Okay, wow, we just get these 4 data now, right, inside each one. Okay, now that this is ready, we'll just go ahead and maybe we'll use cards, guys. Cards can be used to show cool stuff, right? These cards. Let's see if we have a card that matches horizontal card as an image, text, and a link. Okay, this matches our thing, right? So we'll make use of the horizontal card, and we have the code here which we can just copy and paste. Yes, copy, go there, and then go to HTML, and form is okay. We'll remove this materialize, and then use a div here, div materialize, and then so that I can use inside the form and inside the card as well. Card first, we'll remove this h2, we don't need this obviously, and then what else? Image source, we have obviously this one, right? The image URL we have, and then what else? This paragraph thing we don't need. And href here, I'll just, instead of this is a link, I'll give read more. And now we are going to populate that with our data from the get request, right? So first let's start simply. We'll just take this ng to ng4 entry of entries, and then here image source will be like we need to give the string thing, entry dot image. Okay, and then here also entry dot title, and then here ng href we need to give the link there, right, the URL thing. So we can't just, because this is a desktop app, it won't just navigate to that link. So we'll add a click attribute and then make a call to open links function. Then we'll pass in the URL, entry.url, which link we need to open. Okay, this is done. And what else can be done to optimize this entire thing? Okay, this whole thing can be put inside an ngif, I think. Ngif show cards. Okay, because this need not be shown whenever the app loads, right? We need to show this only when the URL call is made and then that URL call is successful. So we'll just have show cards, and then here I'll show cards to be boolean false. Okay, and if this is successful, then instead of this console.log, this dot show cards equal to true. Anyway, this won't happen, right? Because okay, we can make this happen. Obviously, we just need to use ngzone. ngzone. For those of you who haven't heard of ngzone and watching it for the first time, think of it like the scope.apply in Angular 1, guys. So this should come under this dot zone dot run. Sorry. Okay, this is done. Now that is done, we'll just make the open links incoming URL, right? Okay, for to open a link in external window or external thing, external link, we need to use the shell one, guys. Shell, the atom shell, the original shell. We can either write it in index.js and then make an IPC call from here, and then make the Electron process listen to that call, my main process return to that call. Or now that we are using a renderer process in Angular 2, we can simply import shell from Electron, and then simply write shell dot open external and give that link incoming URL. Okay, so if everything goes fine, we should be able to see a screen in which upon giving a subreddit, it should open up all the posts under it in different cards, and the cards will have an image to it, or if there is no image, it will simply say no image or something, and the placeholder image will take care of that. And then there should be a link called read more, upon clicking which upon clicking it should take us or open the link in a browser, right? So let's see. Okay, I'm just giving Angular 2. Oh wow, it works fine, guys. Why is this image so big? Okay, we need to take care of that. We'll just make use of simple styling options here with equal to 50 or 70, height equal to 70. And start this up. Any subreddit you can use, guys. I'm just giving Ionic here, and all posts related to Ionic will be there displayed, right? So if I just give Angular 2, see, these are all the stuff present here, right? Oh, I'll close this. So look at this, the ng2 bootstrap date and time picker, mock backend in Angular 2, ng wrapper, etc, right? ng2 goes to mark backend, ng2 wrapper, helpful git burritos, helpful git, everything is we can see that in our application. So this is how now we'll just check whether the read more thing works fine. We'll just these are all self.angular, right? We'll just take one with an external link, this one, wildermuth.com. okay, this guy has written a wonderful article. It has got 9 upvotes, so thank you, sir. So let's just try to access that guy's application. Is Angular 2 full of ceremony? We'll just click on read more, see what happens. See, it's opening, right? This Wildermuth, the same person, Sean Wildermuth, his name's okay. He's a great coach, it looks like. Okay, anyway, his URL, his web page opens up in a new tab, right? So obviously this read more link is also working fine. So this is how you design front end screen for your desktop app which you made with Angular 2 and Electron, guys. Now in this we have made use of Materialized CSS framework, which is an amazing framework. I would highly recommend it to you guys. If you hadn't checked it out, kindly check it out once. And yeah, you could the sky is limit. Obviously you could design your screen in any way you want for your application. If you found this video helpful, kindly share it with someone else and help them, guys. Kindly just tweet about it or something like that, and then it's just a tweet, right? And if you like this video, kindly hit the like button, hit on the thumbs up button. It would be some sort of appreciation to me. So yeah, guys, this is what I wanted to show you guys today. Hopefully the video was not too long, and I needed to show you a lot of things. That's why this was a bit longer than my previous video. So yeah, guys, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.